Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss if we can stick to the positives of bourbon or do we need to worry about impending doom. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Luke Otero, Lenny Eckstein, and Ryan Thompson.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hey, everybody.
Hey-oh, so yeah, we're going to be talking about this black cloud that some people seem to think is out there for bourbon, and it's all going to end, and I'm seeing signs, and so we'll talk about that after the break. For right now, Becca, you were saying there's something that is kind of a timely topic going on today. What do you know?
Well, today is a big day. It's a real big day. Actually, let's see here. How many years has it been? So it would be, let's see. Today is
90,
is repeal day.
Uh-huh.
Is it 90 years?
I think so.
Yeah, it'd be 90 years this year.
90 years.
Since Prohibition was repealed, which is a huge day,
Yeah.
obviously. And I want to know how everyone is going to celebrate a repeal day, or if they do anything special for repeal day, or if they didn't even fucking know today was repeal day. Or if anyone knows any fun facts about repeal day.
Well, we just threw one out. It's 90 years.
It's 90. It's 90
That's
years.
a fact. That's a fact.
It was was it Roosevelt that reinstated it?
Yep. Oh yeah. So
Here's another good
Like
fact.
it's like a first thing he did, right? As
You
president.
just pull that out of there. That was impressive.
Look at that.
fact.
Oh, I know all the things.
That was really impressive.
Roosevelt, it was 13 years, 10
Yeah.
months, and like 17 days.
Yes.
What else do I know?
Well, the famous Anheuser-Busch hitch, of course, brought beer to President Roosevelt after Prohibition, so the Clydesdales. So that was kind of a big deal for St. Louis, for sure.
I was going to say, that's pertinent for your neck of the woods there, huh?
Yes, yeah, that was a cool thing, for sure. So
Nice.
I remember it well.
My dad had
I
a
personally,
Clydesdale.
I enjoy the fact that LaGuardia up in New York, he stood in front of the cops and mixed together some stuff to make beer and was like, "Are you going to stop me from drinking this?" And they're like, "No." And he's like, "Okay, that's what I thought."
Nice.
He just was. He didn't care. He thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I do care, and I do know about this day, and I celebrate it every year just because it's a very meaningful to me personally and professionally, our business. So, and I usually do it with a nice pour of bourbon.
Yeah, well,
As
that's what I would do too.
should.
And I don't think this audience needs any excuse to drink. But if we did, Prohibition Day is a really good excuse to celebrate. So
Yeah.
One of the, I'm not sure if it was a senator or who it was. They asked him on Repeal Day how he was going to celebrate, and he said he was going to celebrate with a glass of water because it would be the first one he's had in 13 years.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think it's a cool thing. The biggest celebration that I've ever been is I went to Bourbon's Bistro on Repeal Day once, so that was a big thing. Of course, they famously roll a barrel down the streets, and it's media coverage and stuff like that. And yes, yeah, Bronner had me go, and I thought, oh, this will be cool. I'll get to walk along and be part of. I had to roll that damn barrel like half the time. I feel like Bronner's too busy. Yeah, Bronner's too busy, trying to be on the camera. Bronner's just trying to be on the camera, walking and talking to to
I'm Jason Bronner. Do.
Yeah, you had to earn that drink.
This is my day. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm bent to hunched over, rolling a barrel.
Yeah, you're too tall to push that thing around.
Exactly.
Like Jason's like the perfect height. It's like up to his chest, so he can just like walk and push it. You've got to bend over to push it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I'll invite you out to the distillery, Akeley, on next year, and we'll put you to work on Prohibition Day as well, man. If that's the thing.
Well, you might as well. Bronner did. Yeah.
Right.
The one day Bronner was just roll a barrel.
Yeah, Bronner was just like a politician too, because they got the cameras rolling and all that stuff, and then he's like, "Okay, it's my turn." So he gets there and he gets like the perfect pose and rolls it. I thought, okay, he's going to be doing this well. Nope, he does that enough time to. As soon as they take the camera away, then he's done. Just like any politician, like filling sandbags. When it's flooding, they fill 2 sandbags and then they're done. That was Bronner. Yeah.
Awesome. That's hilarious.
I would say that's the biggest celebration that I know of. Now, one thing that we need to remember is this is also when liquor started getting taxed again for everyone.
Oh yeah.
and you got your income tax.
Yeah,
and
that
your
didn't go away.
Whiskey tax.
Yeah. So the income tax I assume went away. No, it didn't.
Just want you to remember.
Don't rain on this parade, Beka Sue.
I'm raining on the parade because that's what this show's about, is raining on parades.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, I didn't plan this accordingly, but I am have a meeting with a couple of our distillers on Tuesday, and so I think it's going to be pertinent that we crack open, do some barrel samples, and enjoy and celebrate that way. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
Does anyone subscribe to the theory that this was the government's plan the whole time? Because if you think about it, they win in the end. So voters, there's demand to get repeal alcohol sales, so they do it. Prohibition starts, and of course, then the government's like, we tax that now. We don't have that tax space. Of course, folks, we're going to have to tax something, right? And everybody's like, oh, well, yeah, we have to have a government. We gotta, so we're going to do an income tax. And then it goes away, and they weren't like, okay, we're back to taxing the alcohol. We'll get rid of. No, they kept both, and then they go back to what they were taxing the alcohol. Does anybody subscribe that this was just a big master plan? Because of course the government wins. You bring back alcohol, people are high-fiving, they're happy. The president's chugging a beer, for the press. The government looks good in this, but at the same time, they really put it to us.
I don't know if it was master
Are they
plan.
that smart, or are they just
I don't think that they're that
this?
smart. I think that they saw an opportunity to steal more money from us, and they took it. Because the amount of people that wanted prohibition was huge. Like, the women, I don't remember the teetotalers out there. They all really wanted prohibition. They were pushing for it, but I'm not sure that the government planned it. I think that they saw the opportunity and they seized it, because that's what they will always do. Right. Because I don't think the government's that smart, but I think that they're smart enough to go, oh, we can steal more. Let's steal some more. Yeah. Is how I see it.
Yeah. I would subscribe to that theory right there.
Yeah. But at some point, the light went on at some point. At some point, the light did go on and said, hey, here's what we can do, by the way. Yeah. Let's bring it back. They're going to love us for bringing back alcohol, but then we're going to tax that like we always have and go from there. So
we'll show them, huh?
Yeah.
This is what they were saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, here we are 90 years later.
Still feeling the repercussions of what happened there. So crazy.
Yes, we
crazy
are.
To think about.
Well, it's a good reason to celebrate.
On that note, we're going to celebrate by drinking. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Lenny. He's been quiet so far, so let's start with him, just to make sure he's still interested in this.
I recently new acquisition. I was on my way home from San Diego, and I stopped off in Colorado and picked up a fine bottle of American Single Malt.
God bless you.
American Single Malt.
God bless you. Thank you, sir.
You know what, though? Fairness, I did have. Yeah, and I love this stuff. I had, as you can see, very little. I had one pour. I'm about to have another. But I did have to replace the cork because I wasn't impressed with I believe it was a natural cork that 10th Mountain uses in your products.
Yep.
the bar top. Yeah. Not enough friction or sound on the first
Oh.
try. So I
So
put a ring.
You're stacking the deck here.
this is I don't know. I got to check the rule
I haven't
book
seen
here.
the rule book that says that's not okay.
Can you record?
Wow.
I don't
Well,
know.
we don't know. So I'm gonna stop talking and
there's a rule that you cannot modify.
Yeah, exactly.
There is now.
Well,
huh?
until I see
Code
that rule in
modification.
writing, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to call Judge Joyce about that one.
Oh, Judge.
Let's see how this one goes. I don't say.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay. It's solid. It's solid. Could be enough.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I
of
think your
course.
strategy worked.
Yeah. Yeah. So this could be enough to win. We'll see what happens. We'll go with Luke next.
Okay, so I went to the Bonnie Brae liquor store and I got me a bottle of Deer Hammer,
Whoa.
Ah.
Jeez.
4 grain. By the way, Lenny, you're only down to 1 bottle there. So
Okay. You got it. Yeah. There you go. Lenny.
Okay, I'll have to send my non-existent rep in.
okay,
Okay.
Quiet on the set.
Okay. Okay. Good, but not as good as Lenny's. Lenny still
Really?
has the lead.
I'll
Yeah.
take it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Becca's next.
But, well, I got to interject here real quick.
Okay.
Sorry. Can't we give it to Luke since he didn't cheat?
Right, I agree.
I mean,
Just saying.
I agree. And also, I mean, it was a solid one, and he didn't have to alter his bottle for it.
Anytime
And
there's-
also, let's be fair,
I will
Lenny
give up
still
my
gets
win.
the win on this one.
Exactly.
If Luke wins, Lenny still wins because it's Lenny's bottle. So
Excellent.
All right. All right. Luke has the lead.
Luke
Luke has the lead. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm sorry to say, Lenny has been overthrown. All right, Becca,
Well,
you're next.
we got the billionaire here. They kind of get what they want. So I've got some new riff here. They're malted rye.
All right.
Whiff.
All right.
Whiff.
Fair enough. All right. I think that's my bottle of malted rye. Remember that time I
No,
bought
it's
that
not.
bottle? Yes, it is.
Royce got this as
I
a wedding
bought that
present
bottle. I
from
had the
Kyle
Kaplans
Kelly.
bring
This
it-
is not the one that you
I-
got.
I bought a bottle, had the Kaplans pick it up from the store for they bring it to Royce and Becca, and then I said, "Can I get that?" They're like, "Oh, we packed away all of our liquor. It's somewhere. We'll get it to you." Well, never did. Never. Hey, she gone there, and I found it now. At least I get to see the enjoyment of someone enjoying that.
Well, know what, Steve? It's delicious. If
There you have it.
somehow that one was yours, it's really good.
It's really good. All right, all right. Well, I got Neely Family Distillery here, so autumn vanilla.
Look at us.
Yeah, trying to help them. Yeah. Oh,
That was pretty solid.
Almost
He's
as good as
happy with
Luke's.
himself. He's
Oh.
really happy with himself.
I think I took over the lead there.
Yeah.
I think I did.
I think Luke's was.
All right, all right. I'll acquiesce just because I'm a nice guy, but I think Luke.
Listen,
You know
Steve,
it's
I
not
would pick
gonna-
you. It's our bottle. I would pick you
Right.
if I thought it won.
You know it's not going to matter because the cork pop master is in the
Oh
house.
yes, here comes the
There we
billionaire.
go.
Come on.
I can't wait.
Lenny
till
and
he
I
has
did not play in
yeah.
this, by the way, but I do have a little
Oh,
Buena Vista
the
brandy.
brandy from Deer Hammer.
Deer
Okay.
Hammer here. So,
Nice.
yeah. That's my best one ever.
Cheers to
Hold it.
Luke.
Yeah, good job, Luke.
Luke wins.
Luke
Cheers.
won.
guys.
Lenny, good job on
We
this.
could.
though.
It wasn't that good on our
Delicious.
end.
Oh, I need a new microphone.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, thanks.
That was loud.
Cheers
Oh.
to Luke for winning, and
Cheers
cheers,
to
to
Luke,
Lenny
definitely,
for having the bottle.
Well, Lenny froze up, but look how cool Lenny looks in his freeze up there. I
No
never
one
looked
ever
at
looks
the-
that cool when they freeze.
I'm
No.
gonna-
Seriously.
Oh, he came back, so he's back. All right. Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Well, what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this theory of impending doom and how some people let it consume them. And should they be doing that? We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
Everybody, happy Festivus at the ABV Barrel Shop.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about the bourbon impending doom.
Impending doom. So,
Lenny, this is epic, dude. This is
Oh,
great.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
I just harvested more brandy today. We don't do it too often, but
Awesome, brother. Nicely done.
Very
Sorry,
nice.
guys. Yeah.
very nice. No problem. So, yeah, we're talking about this idea. There's people out there that, you're talking about bourbon and they're like, oh, the bourbon bubble's getting ready to burst. Things can't keep going. And rather than just enjoying what is probably the greatest time there ever has been in bourbon, rather than just enjoying it, they have to be naysayers and worried about, the impending problems. Do you guys think that we need to pay any attention to that, or should we just enjoy these good times?
I'll jump in. My main thought on this, I enjoy it. Who cares if it busts and we lose 10%, 20%, 25%, whatever, we're all still going to be okay anyways.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it does bust,
because you know why? Because you guys make great products. There'll be some that suffer from this. There's no doubt. And of course, everything is cyclical. The bourbon, to me, it's still going to be going on for many years. We're still booming for years from now. But I feel like, you know what, there is going to be at some point some sort of correction, some sort of backtracking, and that's going to affect the people who aren't doing a good job. There's everybody's in bourbon right now, and it will impact some, but it's not going to impact like the 3 distilleries represented here or the distilleries that Luke represents as a distributor. He's working with great brands. It's not going to impact them at all. Matter of fact, they may get stronger out of those deals. Just as COVID, of course, kicked some people out of this industry, and guys like the gentlemen that have distilleries here, and of course Beka is involved in the distillery as well. You guys solid, and you go out of that, and of course it's a lot of unknown. It's scary times for sure, but you probably came out of COVID stronger than you were going in, and you've just built on it from there. So,
in certain aspects, for sure. I mean, our DTC sales obviously increased, which is great, and they've remained. So, yeah, in that regard, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
feel like there's a little more complexity to it, maybe in a weird way, though. So, like, try to follow me, and I'll probably ramble into some massively confused.
All right.
Are we discussing or pondering if the enthusiasm for bourbon will wane, and those who are so into it now might say, I had my fill, I'm going to switch to soju or whatever that stuff out of China is called. It's... I don't think that's going to happen ever.
Okay.
Well, is it really a bourbon bubble bust, or is it a bust of the economy as a whole? and then everybody just stops spending some money. So it's not really a bourbon bubble. It's just, and like, despite what a lot of people think, I'm not actually an economist, but I do not think that would be a bourbon bubble bust. I think it's going to be a global economy bust, if anything. So yes, we might a little less, but it's going to come back. The interest is never going to go away, nor will, the segment of people who will always chase the hardest to find bottles and pay preposterous secondary market prices for them. It's not like we're going to start seeing bottles of, George T. Stagg going for $500 because the bubble burst. That's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. Okay.
Do you think it's is the social media pushing the interest?
100%. But I think social media is pushing the interest for everything. I think there's a lot of things that will never go back again. Like, think about just even general industrial design. Sorry to get too boring, but like design of everyday objects throughout time. And when they started escalating into like the late 90s and 2000s, we're never going to have boring design because everybody sees what's on the internet and they're like, I'm not going to get that ugly piece of furniture, that stupid looking, whatever. Yes, to your point, I think social media drives everything and we're never going back.
Right. I think bourbon, believe it or not, is very insulated in that, some of the other things. You hear that overall sales of tequila passed bourbon last year or something. And I don't know whether that's true or not. I don't know that, but that was a story that came out this past year.
I call bullshit.
Yeah, me too. But, I think what bourbon has going for it, it's an American-made product. It leads it to being so much more. You can go visit the distilleries and see and I know you could probably go see places where they make tequileries or whatever they're called. I get that, but that's also a lot more travel. Whereas most people, if you look at, there's a certain swatch in the country that there's a lot of people that can get in a car and be in bourbon country in under 4 hours, like in St. Louis. And that means that you have that element of travel and being able to see the people that make the brands and events and festivals in the U.S. all over because they're celebrating their local distilleries, but the industry as a whole as well. You just won't get that with all the other different kinds of alcohol. So I think bourbon's pretty special. I think
no doubt. You make a super valid point there. I think absolutely, and the tourism behind it, and
right.
People making their trips around it and checking out. And the distilleries are just fun to visit. There's beautiful properties. They're every shape, size, and color. And so, I'm with you.
What do you guys think though about what I see as like potentially a threat by the do-gooders who want to tell everybody that it's not healthy?
It's not healthy.
Like the government, I guess. Like there's talk of government warnings and that there's quote no safe amount of alcohol to drink. Anytime I hear that, I'm like, shut the fuck up! Don't say that. You're ruining it.
No.
What do you think? Is that a threat?
Lenny, in my opinion, they're going to be saying that from here until the end. That hasn't stopped. If you go prior to Prohibition, they were saying that. So that's going to continue. But going back to the original question, if I may, the bubble bursting. I think it's going to be a correction. I think the bourbon industry is poised, especially the ones, and talking to 3 of them on the web right now, are poised to usher in that next wave, and the strongest will survive, and that's just a way of the world. And the bourbon industry they're putting up as much as they can, as fast as they can. So they're in it for the long haul, and it's not going to go anywhere. To the tequila, that is probably the number one rising one around the world, without a doubt. Is it passing bourbon? I don't know. All I know is our tequila sales are pretty damn good, and
right.
They don't. You're right, Steve. They don't have the one state that. Jalisco is so huge that there's 5 other states in Mexico that are allowed to produce tequila. So they don't have the tourism going there, but they sure are importing a lot of it out. Yeah. And to them, they don't feel like they actually need to have tourists there because people are buying it no matter what. Yeah. Now, saying that though, it's like anything else. The amount of tequila that's coming out and the quality of tequila that's coming out. I heard a statistic that was pretty factual. Is that 5% roughly is unadulterated, pure tequila agave. There's no coloring, there's no additives, there's nothing. And they're maturing the agave plants until the 6 or 8 years that they need to. The others are rushing it to the market, and
Right.
that's when you have to add all that stuff. So I think that's going to bust too, because of the real true tequila drinkers are going to say, okay, I don't mind buying some Fortaleza because I know where it comes from, I know what they did, I know who's doing it. It's kind of like what the three of you are doing.
Right.
The pedigree is going to matter, and that's what's going to last a long time.
Luke, can you? I mean, you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, but if you would be willing to do so, my big thing is, yes, I get it, tequila growing rapidly and all that, but of all the people I know, I can, and of course maybe this is just an offshoot of me being involved in bourbon, but there's so many people that I know that their whole hobby is around bourbon. It's the drinking of bourbon, travel of bourbon, collecting bourbon, going to bourbon events, bourbon festivals, all that. Don't know anybody that is into tequila in that way at all. But I think what drives the growth of tequila isn't people who drink tequila. It's people who drink margaritas, which tequila happens to be the rest, part of the recipe, the main part of it.
Yeah.
What are your, in terms of breakdown of your sales, and this would be an indicator of that, what percentage are you selling to liquor stores of your tequilas versus on premise to bars and restaurants that are going to be selling that product via mostly margaritas?
Well, that's actually a really good question. I don't mind answering at all.
Okay.
So our first tequila we brought in, and it's from the Camarena family, 5 generations. They own they're completely vertical. So they own their agave fields, production facility, this, that, and the other. So on premise, off premise of that particular product is about 50-50 right now.
Okay.
So if you want a really good margarita with lime juice and additive free tequila, you're going to pay a little extra for that.
Right.
Or if you want to just drink it straight, you're going to pay a little extra at the retail outlet. But if you want some Terramena from The Rock, which is horrible,
Right.
you can do that too, and people are buying that too. And I get it. But it's kind of like, I'm looking at everyone on this podcast right now. Would you drink Crown Royal?
No.
No.
I would
Okay.
not.
So
I haven't had Crown in a long time.
So when you see some of these bigger names of where it's Cuervo, Don Julio,
Yeah.
whatever, and they're making so much, they cannot age it properly, let the agave plants mature, so they're just pumping it out. So I think in the tequila market, what's gonna happen is the same thing that's happened in the bourbon area, is the quality, the pedigree is going to be meaningful for a very long time. And I mean,
Yeah. Well, like
Casamigo,
the tequila you mentioned there, and again, I'm not familiar with that brand, but it sounds like a premium product that was meant to be sipped. And again, that'd be something I'd be interested in tasting. And I probably drink plenty of margaritas because I go to, Mexican restaurants, and there's some that ask you what you want in there. There's others that they just, and they're probably using like a Cuervo, which is, by the way, okay in a margarita. It doesn't, obviously there's way better margaritas, but you can drink it in a margarita by itself. It's undrinkable, I feel. I'm not sipping on any Cuervo. It's bad stuff.
It's categorized as mixto.
Uh-huh.
It's not even real tequila because it's
Isn't it
everything.
40% GNS, Luke? Like Cuervo
Yeah.
itself, is it? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So Steve, when you and the warden come to Santa Fe, we'll have you
Okay.
over to the house, and we'll pour you some premium tequilas,
Yeah.
and it's the XAs, the extra añejos are incredible. They've been finished in whiskey casks. I mean, so they're learning and they're doing it correctly. The ones who are wanting to spend the time and the effort to do it, but the others that are pumping it out, it's kind of like rapid aging in warehouses, or like, and then Crown Royal, I use that as an example. The coloring, the additives that they put on that, but hell,
Yeah.
they got the market. Casamigo, same thing. I mean, but going back to the bubble thing is that I do believe that the bourbon, especially the ones who are doing it now and doing it right, will survive, and they'll usher in the next wave of the bourbon popularity again.
Yeah. So there you go. You do with it what you want. I think the good times are going to be continuing. And like I said, I do know that there will be some sort of correction at some point, and we have seen some consolidation, and things happening already, and we'll continue to see that. But I do think that there's, I don't think anything's going to reverse America's love for bourbon. And
I'm not losing any sleep over it. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So on that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Luke, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find us at Santa Fe Boutique Wines on Instagram, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Luke Otero.
All right, Lenny. Oh, he's locked up.
You can find me and the rest of Deer Hammer on social media.
Yeah, he was there for a second. Now he's gone. All right, you're back, Lenny.
Bad time to freeze, Lenny. Bad time to freeze.
You're up, Lenny. Go ahead.
All right. Am I back?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm up.
Yes.
All right, man. The internet by Val is terrible these days, but you can find me and the rest of Deer Hammer on social media at Deer Hammer. You can come back. I can't remember what I was going to say. Too confused by the internet going up, but come visit us at the distillery in Buena Vista.
That was a solid plug for sure. Not annoying to listen to at all.
I do.
Yeah, it was good. All right, Ryan, how about you?
Across all socials at 10th MTN Whiskey, and our website's 10thwhiskey.com. That's 10th whiskey with an E.
Man, they've got you trained up. I remember when I used to throw it to you and you'd be like, I don't really social media. Yeah, I don't really social media. Yeah, he's good now. Oh, he's slick. Yeah. All right, Miss Beka Sue, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us. The ABV Barrel Shop, that place where you can try before you buy. Great opportunity to come in. We've got all kinds of great stuff in the store right now. We figured out more ways to put whiskey in that 1,000 square feet that we've got. You can't even believe it. We thought when we started this thing, we probably have about 15 items in there at a time. I think we've got 45 right now. So yes, come by and see us. And if you see it, you can try it. It's a great place to come. abvbarrelshop.com online. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Finance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Happy Prohibition Day.
Later, everybody.
Reveal Day. Peace.
Yay.
Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.